Okay, so I'll start off then. This is a PowerPoint that I devised way back at the start of the lockdown, hence why it's called Quarantine Lean. And some of you have actually been on the Quarantine Lean programs right from the beginning. So workshop just covering, these are just all different components. I'll fly through these. Any questions, you can put it in the chat or you can interrupt me as you wish, okay? So your diet, real talk, it's about getting a balance and developing good habits, okay, which is much more beneficial than exercise alone. So what that basically means is that developing good habits with your diet, for instance, like tracking calories, is going to put you in really good stead for instance, if it's body composition goals that you're after. Diet is always number one, okay? So diet is like always the key for getting results. And it's not just like fat loss, it's just health in general, okay? When you complement that with exercise, obviously the two go hand in hand and you'll maximize your results. If you solely rely on exercise alone, you'll hit a plateau pretty soon. And you can't really out-train a bad diet for long. It'll catch up with you eventually. But if you had to pick one and it was one or the other, and you couldn't exercise, you would nail down the diet, okay? Because the diet's always number one. But obviously you want to do both the exercise and the diet for the benefits that come with that, okay? So there's no long-term beneficial outcome with taking shortcuts on nutrition. So like, fad diets, and without naming any on here, I think we all know what a fad diet is, okay? So fad diets are basically something you'll be chasing your tail with, the following month or, a couple of months later or weeks or whatever it may be, all right? Getting used to the idea that it's going to take time. So, sometimes when people, message me and they're like, how long do you think it'll take me to lose a stone? It's like, well, how long did it take you to put the weight on? And how long are you willing to give this a chance? A lot of people want the results yesterday, and I get that. I totally get it. They get impatient and all the rest of it, but you've got to give it time. And you got to look at it this way, like building a foundation. So to build a foundation for a house, for instance, it takes a while, but once the foundation's built, the house just flies up, and it's the same with your fitness, your health, your fat loss goals. You have to build a foundation first. And in order to build a foundation, you've got to put in the time. There's no easy way around it. There's no shortcut. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell when it comes to that. This is the diet cycle reality. So people want to start a diet. The new year, new me, it comes up and everybody once Boxing Day's over, as personal trainers, the trainers are on here, you'll know the day after Boxing Day, they message you and like, I want to train, I want to diet, I want to do this, that, and the other. Okay, so it's kind of like a want, right? So start a diet. Then the big thing is start cutting calories. So start restricting calories. Then what happens is they get hungry, okay? They start getting cravings. And remember, the cravings just means that you're not eating enough food. That's all the craving means, okay? You're not eating enough food. And then they fail with the diet and end up with limited results. And then they go back again to wanting to start a diet. And that's the cycle. And this is the reality, okay? Social and psychological impact of nutrition. So people's feelings and relationship with food. Some people eat food when they're stressed. Other people can't eat. Whenever I'm stressed, my appetite goes. I'm the opposite. So people react to food in all different ways, okay? Reward system, being good all week and then treating themselves at the weekend. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. But there's a smart approach to doing this, and that is calorie tracking and also banking calories to ensure that you're not in a surplus with calories, which means that you're going to put weight on. There is a smart way of doing it, which I'm going to show you. Okay. Boredom, eating massive during lockdown, a lot of eating, a lot of drinking, just getting into bad habits. All right. Dysfunctional eating patterns. So fad diets, as I say, like without naming them, I think we can all guess what they are. Extreme calorie deficits. This is something that I see a lot of, and it's responsible for a lot of people having to fight an uphill battle, if you like, and they end up putting on the same weight and some. And because the energy levels and stuff are so low and all the rest of it, they end up absolutely knackered, and it takes them a long time to recover from it. I mean, there's some people that have messaged me that have been on as low as like 800 calories a day, and it's just crazy. It really, really is. Looking for the quick fix, summer holidays, 28-day shred or 21-day shred. Like You got to think of it this way, right? If something's going to get you cut down that quick, what is going to be the after effects of that? Like, what do you do after 21 days? Like, is that it? You know, like, you got to be thinking about something more long term. What can I do to sustain this long term? Okay, so that you're not having to chase your tail again, and you know, the likes of January and all the rest of it. Okay. Equilibrium. So this is a really, really good topic. Okay, so equilibrium, basically, whenever you overeat, so you got it the weekend, you go out for a meal, and you know you've overate, and you feel a wee bit bloated and sluggish for a couple of days afterwards. What some people do is they restrict calories and they starve themselves. That's the worst thing you can do. Your body's really, really clever, and what happens is after 3 to 5 days, your body meets its equilibrium, which is like its middle ground, and it kind of regulates itself. So the weight that you've put on will balance itself out. So like if you ever go on holiday and you come back from like an all-inclusive and you put on like a stone, and then like a week later the weight's kind of back off again and you've lost all the bloat, that's your body's equilibrium. And you can look into this more yourselves. So never panic if you have overeat or whatever. Just get on as normal, train as normal, track your calories, or go back to your normal eating pattern, and I promise you that it'll find its balance for you. And that's what the equilibrium is about. All right. Okay, involuntary and uncontrollable actions like appetite and hunger. You can't resist hunger. You just can't. It'll get to a certain point where you'll end up eating it all around you. All right. And that's why I like to keep clients on high calories, as high as possible all the time, to avoid hunger and to avoid those situations where you just eat the cupboards out, you know. Menstrual cycle, like obviously I'm not an expert on this, but second and fourth week of the cycle, weight can fluctuate. I'm not a big fan of scales, by the way, but it can fluctuate. You know, hormones and water retention, cravings can be higher, motivation can fluctuate, and all the rest of it. All right. So, you know, embrace, you know, week 2 and week 4 of the cycle. Take it easy if you have to. It's no big deal. All right. Self-destruct mode. So setting unachievable goals, like, you know, I want to lose a stone in a month. It's just, you know, I want to lose a, you know, 3 stone and whatever. Like sometimes people put unrealistic expectations on themselves instead of just like riding it out and treating it as a marathon instead of a sprint. Okay. Metabolic adaptation. This is another really interesting topic. So metabolic adaptation occurs when you start cutting calories. So say for instance, you're on 1800 calories and you go to 1600. Yes, you will lose weight because you're essentially, there's less food going in. Then your body's really, really clever, and then it'll start to adapt. Okay. Then you have to drop calories again, and you're on 1400. Your body adapts. Then you're on 1200. And then the only way is up, because you can't keep going down. You can't go to 1000, you can't go to 800, because you're going to end up really, really hungry. You're going to be drained, lethargic, hormones are going to be all over the place and everything else. So the only way is up. Okay, so that's what metabolic adaptation is all about. It's just really, really clever. Anything you do with your body, it'll always adapt to it. All right. So alternative ways, instead of cutting calories, is banking calories for cheat meals at the weekend. And again, I'm going to talk about this shortly for you. Macros just simply means your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats. All right. And not forgetting micronutrients as well, okay, which you're going to get in your vitamins, get it in veg and all the rest of it, which a lot of people forget about. Okay, so you got your macros and also your micronutrients. Carbs, you know, bread, pasta, there's also carbs in fruit as well. Carbs aren't the enemy, by the way. Carbs are the primary source of fuel. So if you start taking carbs out of your diet, you're going to start to reduce energy. All right, and we need carbs. Carbs should make up the most of your diet. Portion size for carbs, size of your hand, that's like a government guideline for it. All right. Protein, and again, it's 4 calories, same as carbs per gram. And it's not just, people think you have to like have, you know, high protein for fat loss. There's much more going on than that. You know, it helps with hormones, muscle growth, repair of you know, muscle tissue that's broke down from exercise as well. So it's really, really important to be getting the right balance. And again, the government guideline portion size is the size of your hand or your palm, if you like there. Okay. Fats, 9 calories per gram. And fats is important. A lot of people like cut out fat. They go for like low fat, and whenever you take fat out of it, out of food, it's usually replaced with sugar, which is worse. All right, so it's about trying to get the right balance in the foods for you. Portion size, government there is saying like the size of a thumb. Okay. Calories. Now this is just roughly, and I'm gonna show you why in a minute. For women, now this is a government guideline as well, saying like, you know, roughly for women it's 2,000 and roughly for men it's 2,500. It all depends on what weight the individual is. Okay, so this is just a rough guide. Okay, so that's not to say that all women take 2,000 and all men take 2,500. Okay. Tracking calories. Everybody here, I think, has heard of MyFitnessPal, and if not, you know, we can talk about that. Macro setup. So this is the setup that I use, and I find that it's the most sustainable, and I absolutely love it. It's the 40-30-30 split. So 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fats. All right. So the way to work out your calories that you should be on is your body weight in pounds times by your energy expenditure. So if you're sedentary, which is like, you know, 1 to 3 times per week that you train, it's 1.375. So your body weight in pounds times 10 times by 1.375. If you train 3 to 5 times per week, it's 1.55. And then after that, if you're, you know, 6 times a week or starting to go into double sessions, it's 1.6. I've never put anybody onto that. I've never had anybody that's needed to be that high with calories. Now, what I do is, for instance, the likes of big Fad that's with us. Fad would like do quite a lot of running. He's definitely an endurance athlete. So his macro split would be 50% carbs, because he doesn't need as much fats and as much protein in his diet, because remember, carbs is the primary source of energy. And if Big Fad is doing, I think it's like a 5K he does in the morning, and it is a 10K at nighttime. And he does that quite regularly. He needs carbs. That's the primary source that he needs to keep himself fueling. So his split will be different. Okay, and that's why it's unique to absolutely everybody, depending on what it is you're doing. Tips to manipulate calories is banking calories and intermittent fasting, which just means skip breakfast. I do intermittent fasting pretty much every day without even like trying, because I'm, you know, busy in the morning, and then now I don't actually have an appetite until around about 11 or 12, and it's great because I can get to push all my calories later into the day and have a big massive carb heavy meal at nighttime, and it works really well for me. Weekends as well. I mean, if you're looking to, you know, spoil yourself a wee bit, why not skip breakfast, you know, and push all your food in later into the day as well. All right. So recommended supplements. I'm not a big fan of supplements. I'm not a big fan of protein powders or anything else, but you know, if you had to go for one, the likes of fish oil is really, really good, and it helps with your joints, with inflammation. It also helps with fat loss, skin, hair, nails, hormones, all the rest of it. Digestive enzymes are really good for the help with bloating. You can get them actually out of Holland and Barrett. So like, you know, if you're out for a meal or whatever and you've got like bloating and stuff and all, they can really, really help. Vitamin D3, vitamin C, all those sort of things, all the natural things. And that's really about it. Okay, so just a wee question slide. I'm going to move on from this here, but before we move on, does anybody have any questions on that so far? No, if not, I'll move on to the next one, which is going to be calorie swaps that I'm going to go on to from, let's see. It's going to stop sharing for a wee second. I'll reshare in a wee second for you. I just need to get these calorie swaps. Okay, so these are calorie swaps that I had Tony from Tony and Jen's on before Christmas. He done an absolute awesome presentation for us. And these are just different ways of getting protein in, snacks in. So if you have a look there, you can see that. Everybody see that okay? Give me a thumbs up, yeah? Okay, grand. So he's got, you know, whey protein powder there, deli meat, protein bar, tuna. If anybody likes tuna is probably one of the handiest go-tos for getting your protein up. I absolutely love it. It's low calories. It's really high in protein as well. And you can play about with it. You can mix about it. I've made some really weird sort of like on the spot things like tuna and beetroot and just whatever, just to get that wee bit of protein in. Beef jerky, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, eggs, beef bar. I'm not sure what that is. Endamine, I don't know what that is either. String cheese and chickpeas. Okay, so. And then you've got here the swaps, so the plant protein and animal proteins as well for you. And I can send these slides across if you want them. I've already sent them to some people, but I can send them across as well. So, we've got like chickpeas. The thing is with the plant-based stuff, you are going to have to eat more of it to, to hit your protein. That's the only kind of downside to it. Whereas the animal proteins will have more protein in it for you. So again, we've got more swaps here and I can send all them to you. So this one here is really interesting. So let's see. So you've got here, along the bottom is the grams of protein in each item, and then up the left is the calories that it takes. So if you look here, so 30 grams of protein, if you go up to the top, a Big Mac here is roughly 500 calories, okay? 30 grams of protein in a Big Mac. Whereas if you wanted to get, say almond nuts, 25 grams of almond nuts is 600 calories. Even though the almond nuts are healthier, they're better for you, it's going to eat more calories. This just shows you how it all breaks down. The 10 of tuna that I mentioned, so it's roughly like, I think that's about 27 grams of protein, and it's working out at less than 100 calories. So you can see how all this works. And again, I could send this for you. It's really, really interesting. 4 different types, 4 different contributors to your daily calorie expenditure. Okay, you can have a wee look through all this as well. I can send all this to you so we can move on to the next slide. So, and again, that's Tony's way of working out your calories that you need. He does it in kilos, so 22 times your body weight in kilos times your activity levels, which works out pretty much the same as the formula that I use. To gain muscle, you add 5% onto that. To lose body fat, you minus 10%. That puts you into a calorie deficit. Okay. And then Tony's just added a few notes in there. And again, you can have a look through that. That was just from a previous presentation. We were talking about endometriosis and stuff like that. That was some of the conditions that few of the clients had. So I'll not go over that. Any questions on that before I move on to the next slide? Okay, grand. Let me stop screen share and go to the next one. Right. Next one. Okay. Okay, so this is from Chris Lowy, who is a sports nutritionist. Again, I was on a Zoom call with Chris. This is top information. It's really, really good. Let me just come through it for you. So if you're fit enough but your performance sucks, it's your nutrition. I absolutely love this, and it really makes sense, and I'm sure we can all relate to this. Okay. Let me just get the good stuff. And again, I can send you all these PDFs. Okay. Calories are currency. Know your budget. Brilliant. Absolutely love that. He's just talking about energy balance. Let's get to the good stuff here. So this is very interesting. Okay, so glycogen store. So you can unmute and tell me if you can relate to this, and I'm sure we all can. So whose tank runs on empty? So you start off on a Monday. The Monday's workout is grand. It comes Wednesday, you're feeling a wee bit sort of like running on half empty. And then it comes like Friday or Saturday, your workout, you just feel absolutely drained. Has anybody ever felt like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Claire, did you say yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Talk us through it. So, like the weekend, fuel wise, how much food have you had? Have you had a good bit of food, maybe overate? You say you like your treats and your tray breaks at the weekend, and then your Monday workouts, brilliant, smash it. The Wednesday one starting to feel drained and so on. Does that sound about right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And why do you think that is then? Why do you think towards the end of the week that you're starting to feel a bit drained?
I don't know, maybe not. In the past, probably then I would have done the cutting of the calories a lot during the week to make up for everything I ate at the weekend. And I suppose I wasn't eating maybe the right food as well. I would have, I don't know. It would have been, I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's grand. I know what you're getting at. So yeah, it's been a case of that you just haven't had your calories on point because you've ate loads during the weekend. You feel really good, and then you feel a bit guilty, so you start cutting the calories down again to come up to the weekend again, and that's basically what's happening here. So yeah, that's cool. Thank you. Cheers, Claire. So I just want to go down through. There's another really good slide on this for you all. Okay, this one is fantastic. Right, so this actually shows you how to prep before a training session. Okay, so can everybody see this okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so 6 hours before a training session, solid meal, pasta, noodles, couscous, protein, lean meats, and fish, fatty meats, eggs, and all the rest of it. Fats, fatty meats, fish, eggs, full fat dairy products, nuts, seeds, avocados, and fiber, all vegetables. Okay, 3 hours before a workout, it's saying white pasta, white rice, bread, and again the protein, lean meats, full fat yogurt, cheese, all that sort of stuff. And then for fats, eggs, full fat yogurts, nuts, seeds, avocados. And then fiber, it's saying small solid portions. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. So we're going from solid meal, 6 hours beforehand, 3 hours beforehand, solid meal, 90 minutes pre, semi-solid meals, right? So like it's a bagel, fruit, rice cakes, cereal bars, protein bars, protein smoothies, 0% Greek yogurt. So look at this, okay? So it's saying 0% fat. And then here, fats, minimal, ideally none, 90 minutes before a workout. And the reason being is because the protein is very hard to digest, okay? It's very, very, to break it down, so there's not enough time. Sorry, I don't know why this is coming up. So it's saying pretty much eliminate it 90 minutes beforehand. And then fiber, this is also really, really interesting. It's saying to eliminate fiber 90 minutes before a workout, all right? And then 60 minutes prior to it, it's saying liquid meals. So, energy gels, isotonic sports drinks. And then from here, no protein, no fats, and no fiber. And it's really, really interesting. I've seen like working in different gyms over the years where people are drinking protein shakes during their workouts as well. And it's just going to slow you down. It really is. So that is really, really interesting, that one. Anybody any questions on that about timings for food, or did anybody know how to eat before training, or what way does anybody do it that works for them? Anyone want to add to that? No? Okay, grand. What I'll do then is I'll move on to the next slide from that. So the next one I'm going to go on to is a calorie tracking breakdown, the chart that I use to analyze clients just to see where they're at. So this is going to be really interesting for you all, and you can do this yourselves. I can also do it for you, but it's also good to know how to do this yourself. Okay. So everybody see this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, grand job. So you can do this over how many days you want, but I've just done it over 7 days. So you basically, you've got your carbs here, you've got your calories, carbs, fats, and proteins. So you type them all in, and then you add them up. So you get your total, and then you divide it by the amount of days. You divide it by 7, which gives you an average there, your total calories. You do the same for carbs, fats, and protein. Now, bear in mind, we've worked out our formula by body weight in pounds times 10 times by our energy expenditure. So for this client, it was 1,700. So then I can see here that the client is 450 calories under their total calories. They're 45 grams under their carbs, 22 grams under their fats, and 33 grams under protein. So what I would do here is I would sit down with the client, just say, like, going forward for next week, I think we need to increase calories, and then we'll fit this into the carbs, fats, and the protein to make sure that we build it up, because we don't want to keep continuing on having 1,250 calories. Because even though if you look at it, there's days there where there's like 1,700 odd calories, same here, 1,700, and Sunday 1,700. There's days there where it's largely under, and that's going to have an effect on performance. It's going to have an effect on recovery and all the rest of it long term. And it's also probably going to lead to potentially weight gain as well, because if you're under eating for a long period of time, that can also be the significance of putting on weight. And that's one of the biggest things that I've always seen over the years with clients who are struggling to lose weight, is because they're under eating. And it sounds crazy, like under eating, sure, how could I put on weight? But again, it's to do with the metabolic adaptation. So that's really a really good chart for anyone to use. Any questions on that, or is that like helped anybody? Or yeah, very grand. And to do that, all you need to do basically is let me go open up a screen here. Let me go into MyFitnessPal. I'm going to share the screen again for you. Share screen. Emma, do you mind me going into yours?
No, that's fine. No, go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Say you can't meet your calories. Should you then be focusing on one of your macros, all your macros?
If you can't meet your calories, you try and hit your protein if you can. And then the calories that you're under, you could make up for them at a later stage.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's a one-off, now and again, it's grand. But if it's happening 3 days a week, then it's definitely something to look at. So here's Emma here. So into Emma's, so I'm just showing you how you do this, and this is good for coaches that are on here as well. So you just go in. You have to do this on a computer. You can't do it on a mobile. So you basically just go to home. That's decided to freeze. You just go into home, you go into friends, and clients on here as well. You could do this yourselves. You go into Emma's, which is here. Let this load up. You go to view diary. You scroll down to the bottom, and you go to view full report printable. And then I always go back 7 days, or go back Tuesday. Change report. Okay. And then I'm looking here. So I'm looking at Emma's calorie count and making sure everything's on point. Roughly around 1,900. Protein looks pretty good. I can just scan my eye down. I can pretty much tell, just be looking at that straight away. And if you see that consistency right the way throughout this, okay, it's really bang on point. It's absolutely solid. Apart from the 28th, Emma, I have to tell you off that one. But no, it's largely very, very good. Yeah, and that's how you do that, and that's basically how I do it. I just go down, do a full printable report. I get her 7 days of her calories. I put them into the spreadsheet, or carbs. Just do it for all 7 days. Add them all up, divide by 7, get her average, and it's as simple as that. That's how easy that is to do. Any questions on that, or has that helped? Hugh, Marlene, Valdez as well. Is that maybe something that would help you?
Yes, I like the idea that at the minute I just review their calories and stuff, but I didn't know you could do the printable report and look at it like that. So that's really good.
Yeah, that's absolutely solid. And it means that whenever you're giving feedback to clients, that you can actually direct them in the right, each week go, right, okay, we need to work upon total calories or, macros or whatever.
Yeah.
And you'll guarantee results doing it using that method.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Right, Dave, see,
yes.
just before you go on, can't see the likes of all the clients on here. Like, can they all go in and look at Emma's or whoever's?
As long as they're
or is it just you that can do that?
No, if they add each other, if everybody's added, they can do that. Yeah, you get the clients. You can set your privacy settings so you can share with a passcode. If you're sharing with a coach, you can do it that way. If people wish to remain private to you as a coach, they can have a lock code on it.
Right. Okay. No, I think I just picked up at the start anyway. I think that one of the girls to start say they were in stealing recipes anyway.
Yes.
No, which I think's a cracking idea, by the way, because if someone's killing it, then go in and just do what they're doing.
Absolutely. So Roisin went in and basically stole Emma's food plan, went down to Tesco's and just
Guilty.
Yeah.
I can prepare a meal or a recipe and share it with the group, and then they can steal the tracking of that.
Yeah.
That's really good, yeah.
So that was one of the big game changers for us. Was everybody was sharing their MyFitnessPal and getting ideas, because I don't actually do the food shop in the house. Anna Marie, I can't even remember the last time I was in the Tesco's or any of those big places. So I don't know what all these fancy protein yogurts and everything else that's out. So by everybody merging together, it's fantastic. It's really, really good. And it means that you're not having to try and siphon up this boring diet plan. It's super exciting. Now, the only thing I would add is that there's no protein yogurts left in the middle. Anna Marie gave her food plan out and there's no protein yogurts left, just raging.
Good stuff.
So yeah, that it's definitely very, very helpful. Okay, Brad. So any other questions on that before I move on? No. Okay, Brad. And you all know how to add each other on MyFitnessPal and all the rest of it? Yeah. Okay. Right. Right, I'll go on to the next one here, calorie tracking guide, just one that I've got printed out lately. So, and again, I can send this to everybody if you want a copy of it. I think some people do already have it, but I'm happy to share all of this content if it helps everybody. So, guide to calories, awareness, intake, and output. So, and again, I could send this for your own reading so that we can crack on with the Q&A and stuff here. So it just goes through a breakdown of what everything is. I'll show you energy and nutrients density. Okay. I'll send all this to you, and it's also got about looking out in food labels and stuff, like the reds on packets, things like that. So again, I could send that to you. I've also got a guide to eating out. So when you're going to some Nando's and stuff, that you can actually prep before you go out. So if you are wanting to go somewhere like that, you can actually put it into your, let's see if I have it here. Here's it here, actually. Let's see. I'll share this with you as well. So, and again, I'm happy to share this with anybody that wants it. So, so you look through this. So there's Nando's, Greg's, all the burger joints, coffee shops. Loads of tips as well in here for you as you're going out. So let me just double check here. So everyone like Nando's here, yeah? So. All right, so it means before you go out, you can actually put it into your MyFitnessPal before you go into Nando's, and you can have all your food tracked and go in and just enjoy the experience without having to panic about is it going to hit your macros or whatever. So it's really, really handy for you. All the sides and everything else, desserts. Pizza Express, Wagamamas. So, and again, I can send all this to you. I know this is a wee bit frozen. There's Greg's. The different burger joints. So you got Burger King, McDonald's, Five Guys, which I absolutely love. Five Guys. So you got your little hamburger, your little. Unmute and let me know if you like Five Guys. Who or just even put your hand up. Who likes Five Guys? No one.
Never heard of it.
Have you not? No. Oh, you need to get down to Five Guys. There's one in the Victoria Square. It is unreal. So good. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so I will send, and there's all the coffee shops in there as well for you. So, you know, before you actually go into the coffee shops, you're just aware of what it is that you're having before you go in. Right. Okay, so there was the British Nutrition Foundation as well. So I just want to go on to this. I'm far away with any questions. We're about to, we'll go into the Q&A very, very shortly, but if you have any questions for me, do far away. Share the screen with you again. So I know calorie tracking isn't for everybody, and that's fine. But if you go onto the likes of the British Nutrition Foundation, you can go to, let me see here where it is, healthy living, healthy diet recommendations. And then you've got here, you've got the Eat Well guide. So some of you may be familiar with the Eat Well guide, and if not, I highly recommend that you look this up, and it'll give you, the portions and the breakdowns and everything else. So you've got here, this video here is absolutely excellent. Like I highly recommend that if you get, it's 11 minutes, sit down and watch it. Okay, so everything that I've covered tonight, they break it down even better. I'll just open it up and let you watch it.
Can't really hear it, Dave. The sound must be off.
The what's that?
The sound must be off. I can't hear. Can you hear it? No.
Oh, right. Okay. So the sound's off. Sorry. I need to do screens. You're right. Sorry.
Lifestyle factors like being active and not smoking is important for maintaining good health and
better?
can help us feel at our best. This means eating a wide variety of foods.
Marlene, could you hear that? No?
Yeah, I can hear it. I just can't see it. Yeah.
Oh, you can't see it
and the
now?
right
No?
amount of foods and drinks.
Oh, flip.
Sorry.
No, you're all right. You're all right. It's probably me. That's probably me. Well, what I'll do is I'll send you the link to that so that you can see it. I don't know what the correct. Well, but I'll send you the link to that so that you can go in it and see it. So for now, let's exchange usernames. So let's get a bit of paper down, and you can add each other to MyFitnessPal. So if anybody's struggling here, we'll take down a couple of clients MyFitnessPal usernames. Like Emma's is definitely going to be used. Roisin's is going to be used because it's basically the same as Emma's. And anyone else here? Olivia's yours is pretty good. Joanne, you're on point, aren't you, at the minute? Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. Let me.
Do you want us to type them into the chat?
Yeah, that would actually be even better. Yeah. So if you want to type them into the chat, just if your calorie tracking has been on point for at least a day, put it in. Okay, and then everybody else can add, and that's going to add a lot of value for everybody. Okay, writing these all down. While
Mine
you
will
start,
be on track tomorrow.
yours will be, yeah. Okay, so how many have we got in the chat there then? So about Emma Manning, okay, and Claire's. Right. Let me just get a couple more for you here. And then we'll go into a Q&A and that'll wrap us up. And if there's anything that I haven't covered, well, any could just let me know now and I'm happy to cover it. So let me share the screen. Everybody see, yeah? Can everybody see the screen share, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Let's see. So that's Roisin's, if anybody wants to take that down. That's very good. Rosie's is good as well. So if you want to write that one down as well. Rosie's Instagram, it's very, very good. Kenny Bo, his has been pretty good lately as well. If you want to take that one down. Wee Joni Boyle, that's Joanne's there. Take that down. No pressure, Joanne. Olivia's is good. Olivia has, even if you scroll back to Olivia's, there has been some very, very good consistency there with her. So definitely add Olivia's.
You have to scroll back a few weeks.
Just go back a couple of weeks, yeah. There's definitely very, very good stuff in there. You just check through that. Big Peter's there. Pedrono, I think you can pronounce that. 1982. Go through his. His is also very, very good. Amers, she always impresses me. Amers has always been. Let's have a look here. I know she's been away for the last few days, but you know, yeah. So hers is definitely another one. You might need to scroll back a couple of weeks, but Amers has been consistently on point for ages, like absolutely ages. So we go through hers as well, and you'll get some very, very good ideas from her. So let me just go back. You want to write that one down? Okay. Orla Thompson 7, hers is very good as well. It can be a wee bit hit and miss. You can get a couple of weeks out of it. It's exceptionally good, and then it kind of falls off a wee bit, but it's definitely worthwhile going through. You'll get some ideas. Bethany Etok, if you go back to hers, maybe scroll back about a month ago, there was like months and months and months of consistency in hers. It was absolutely exceptional. It was really, really good. Let's see. Rara's mom, that's Heather's. It's very good as well. Go through it.
Sorry, Dave. I have to head on here, mate. The wee girls go dancing at 7:30, and I'm taxi tonight. So
Sorry, apologies about that. I'm going to wrap up anyway and go on the Q&A with you.
no, you're grand, mate. Listen, thanks again, mate, and sure, I'll speak to you later on. All right, bud.
Okay, cheers. Thank you so much.
Thanks a million, mate. Speak to you later. Bye, everyone.
See you later. Bye. And then just finally, so Sonia's, you can add hers. Hers are pretty good. So Sonia, SONZ 2109. And then there's Anna Marie's AMZ Fits 1990. Hers very, very good as well. Okay. Okay, so questions? Any questions? Come in, questions. Let's hear them. Let's see what we can do.
Well, from my point, sorry. I was just going to say, from my point of view, I think there's a lot more I could be doing with my nutrition. I'm really interested in that hourly slide.
The what slide, sorry, Shaz?
The slide where what you should be doing 6 hours before. That's really, really interesting, because I've seen a colleague in work, and he brings, whenever we were working in the office, that's what he was doing. Obviously, he was bringing everything pre-made for the training. And I think that would probably, I mean, you spoke about training on empty. I have trained on empty, but on a daily basis, not during the week. I find that that's been my mistake a couple of times, where I haven't done enough preparation and I've been out in the field and then come back in straight into training, and you just can't train on an empty stomach. You cannot train on no calories. It doesn't happen, you know. So that's really interesting. And also just with Emma's breakdown on the things that there's foods in there that I normally wouldn't buy. And that's really interesting. That's given me an insight to see how I can make something a bit different, you know what I mean? Because I think I stick to the same thing along the way, and it's a bit boring, you know, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no,
Really
yeah. And Emma, you have them all saved then, do you? You have the Remore dish and stuff. You have all that all saved, don't you? You want to talk us about the Remore? If anybody hasn't tried this, Emma has it. Yeah, she has the recipe for it, and it is insane. So good.
Yeah. So things like family dinners, you know, I would have that all saved as a recipe, and then I just have to, you know, add it in. And things that I would eat regularly, like, you know, packed lunches, I would save that as a meal. So I don't have to put in the 6 items every time. I just have to put it in once. So it was probably a wee bit of effort at the start, but now it's very easy. I'm just having, like a turkey wrap. I don't have to put in each individual item. And then recipes like just family curries. Like I just eat kind of what my family eat. I don't eat anything really spectacularly different for family dinners. But I have that all saved as a recipe. So you can go in and steal it, you know.
Yeah. Class. And I'm sure everybody here is going to go in. The Emma's right now after this call, aren't you?
You'd try the remora pasta. Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. That is so good. Any other questions?
I don't know whether you can show this, Dave, on your screen, but I don't really follow the macros bit. Whenever you're putting it on your phone, it gives you the option for macros, nutrients, and calories. I always look at the nutrients and check along the wee bar, you know, and then I know, of 20 grams of carbs still to eat, or 16 grams of protein. That's how I work it out. I don't look at the pie chart.
Yeah, that's very good. I'm glad you brought that up. So I'm going to try. Does everybody have their phone on? Everybody have their mobile phone, or is everybody watching me on a phone? Or you got a phone? Yeah. So if everybody goes into MyFitnessPal, right, and you go into your diary. So you just go into your diary, as you know. You were going to track your food for the day. So you're in that diary where it has, like, you know, breakfast, you know, lunch and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you turn your phone sideways, it gives you like a breakdown as well.
I know, that's brand new to me.
It gives you, I know it's a bit dodgy there, but it actually gives you a breakdown of your macros. Like, just turn it sideways. Class. So everybody's in the diary, the food diary bit. Yeah, just put your phone up to the screen so I can see that everybody's in it. Okay.
I'm on.
You're on your phone. Okay. So go down to nutrition, everyone. Okay, down to nutrition. All right. And then when you go to nutrition, it'll say calories, nutrients, and macros. Hit nutrients. Okay. And then where it says nutrients, there's these progress bars light up. You see that? So whenever you track your food or you scan it or you put it in, the progress bars will light up. So what you want to do is you want to do it the night before, because on time's far too late. So it's like 7:15 at night. And you have 100 grams of protein to hit. It's just not happening. Okay, so you need to prep it all the night before. Put in all the protein first for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then something in the snack, and then try and get most of it all protein. Then go through the carbs and the fats, and try and do it in that order. And that'll make it much easier, as opposed to just like tracking as the day goes along. So protein first, and then carbs, and then fats, and allow yourself like something to eat every day, whether it be a packet of crisps or a chocolate bar or whatever. You should be able to fit that in. Make sure that's if you do eat, you know, like that. What else was I going to say? The likes of veg, the green leafy veg, don't worry about tracking that. Just eat as much of it as you can, like, you know, broccoli, kale, spinach, for the micronutrients. Just get as much of that into you as possible. The likes of vegetables that grow underneath the earth, potatoes, carrots, all that sort of stuff, do track it. So like above the ground, leaves, fine, don't track. Below the ground, do track. Track all your fruit, your vegetables, all that sort of stuff. If you're tracking food that needs the water added to it, for instance, like pasta, you would weigh it raw. Okay, so you weigh the pasta raw. If food loses water, the likes of meat and potatoes and stuff, you weigh it after you've cooked it, so that you're not weighing the water weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that'll make a massive difference for you as well. So scan all your food in, use scales as well, avoid generic measurements like half a cup and all that sort of stuff, and just avoid all that, because it doesn't mean anything. And if anything, it'll probably mean that you're probably going to be under eating and stealing calories from yourself. And the weekends then, if you're going to bank calories, a good way to do it is, like, you know, bank 200 calories Monday to Friday. So say you're on 2,000, there's 1,800, and then on a Saturday there's 3,000 calories for you, and you can go down to wherever you want, Little Wings or wherever, you know, and you can have a good time. And remember that the scale weight will go up initially, because you're in a surplus, but you're actually not, because you've banked those calories. But after 3 to 5 days, your body meets its equilibrium and it balances itself out anyway. So that's a nice wee tip for you. Is there anything else there that I haven't covered that anybody's thinking about? So when we talk about our biggest struggles at the start of the call, and I'll not keep you as much longer. So people were saying, I think number one is they didn't know what they ate. Isn't that right? That was one of them, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so the likes of sharing each other's MyFitnessPal diaries, like Emma's and Olivia's and Claire as well. Claire's a dark horse. She's sitting there not saying too much. Claire's calorie tracking's good. She's not a clean eater by any stretch of the imagination, but her calories are on point.
Don't judge. Don't judge.
Don't judge.
It's only a week. It's only been a week.
But the beauty of calorie tracking is, if it fits your macros, is right, but you kind of want to have a bit of a balance, 80% clean, 20% crop. That's kind of how you want it, like, you know, because calories are calories at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what way you make them up. You know, you can make your food up with the biggest pile of rubbish, but it means that you're going to be hungrier. Processed food's going to take up more calories. You can also add alcohol into your MyFitnessPal, but remember that alcohol's empty calories and it's not going to help you hit your macros. You can also do another approach where you do macros and calories Monday to Friday, and then on the weekends you can do calories only and no macros. You can do it that way as well, and that helps relax things a wee bit. That's another good way of doing it. And a lot of people have actually used that and found that works well. It might get to the point where you might feel that you're plateauing a wee bit, and then at that point you tidy it up again and you go back religiously. Calories, macros, Monday to Sunday. Any questions on that?
No, okay.
Yeah. Has that helped? Has that answered everything? Yeah. Emma, what about yourself? Is that?
Yeah, it's good. I was using my Fitness Pal for a little while, but I couldn't get my, so I have like meals at the minute that we're getting, so I could see like all the exact stuff on it, and then I couldn't find the exact things on my Fitness Pal, and that was really stressed me out that I couldn't like get everything exact. So I've stopped using it. I had put things through my Fitbit app for a while, so that's what I'm using at the minute. But
yeah, that's the thing. There's like a lot of companies out at the minute which are making up meals, and it's fantastic, but you can't actually track them because they've just made them up themselves, and then they've printed it on the packet saying 600 calories, 30 grams of protein or whatever. But it's physically impossible for you to track them, and I totally get that. That's quite hard. But if you can make it yourself, make it from scratch and put it all in and weigh everything, all your own ingredients, and put it in, is would be much more accurate than doing it that way.
Yeah, I think I'll maybe just take a bit of time, like Emma did, and figure those things out.
Do you want me to help you like afterwards to set up your calories, to make sure you're on the right calories, to make sure your macros are set up properly? Do you want me to help you with that?
Yeah, my issue as well is that we're meat free throughout the week, so it is really hard, because I kind of know roughly what I should be having those macros wise, but it's just protein especially, it's just really hard. Like my food's really high carbs and not enough protein, so it is just hard to get that balance.
So protein at the end of the day, say it's 2,000 calories a day that you need it, and you made that up with macros or calories only. It's still 2,000 calories. You can have 2,000 calories of all carbs, but the thing is, whenever you have like higher carb dominated foods, you're going to retain more water, so your scale weight will go up, but it's only water. But whenever you have a balance of, like, for instance, you have the protein on point, it actually speeds up the fat loss process. I think Tony said there wasn't much difference in it, like, for like, I think it's like get you quicker by an extra 5 days or something like that. But me personally, like, from calorie tracking and doing calories only and macro splits, the macro split gets you there far quicker, and I've seen it with clients as well. Having the macros on point get you the results much quicker, and it also helps with like energy and performance as well. Just having that balance, it just makes you feel so much better once you get that 40-30-30 split done. And anybody here that's been on point can vouch for this, that you feel so much better. Yeah. Roisin, how's it felt on a 40-30-30? Emma on a 40?
Good. And I think at the very beginning for me, I kind of sort of tracked what I would normally eat in a day and compared it against the goals, just to get a bit of an idea of what I could improve or what I needed to sort of reduce a wee bit. To sort of take the pressure off, kind of, right, let's start, kind of meeting everything straight away. I just sort of took a few days and just said, right, what would I normally have from lunch and dinner, and then maybe had a look at some other diaries and got ideas for higher protein things. Because there's definitely a lot of things that I eat now that I didn't even know, I wouldn't even know what to shop for in the supermarket, in terms of increasing protein and stuff. So that's for sure. And the diaries does definitely help.
Okay. And what's your biggest snack protein on the go? What would you recommend anybody here who's struggling for something like quick and easy for a protein fix? What would you say?
Gosh, probably a protein bar.
Protein bar.
But yeah, that definitely helps for just have something sweet as well. And it is actually really filling, and they're really nice as well. Like, before, you just sort of had a preconception about those things, that they're all pretty rotten, but they're not. Like,
which one do you like?
I like the Fulfill ones.
Fulfill, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not bad at all. Anybody here recommend any yogurts that they're using? Protein yogurts, anything like that? That's quick and easy.
There's really good range of yogurts as well. Like, the yogurts are all really nice too.
Yeah, was it Skyer? Isn't that one of them? And is it Skyer? Isn't that one of them? Skyer, yeah. I know that Lidl does a decent range, as the Tesco's. They all do decent range. Also, like, if you're talking about like quick convenience foods, like Marks and Spencer's does the Balance for You meals. It's 3 for 12 quid now, I think it is. But if you are getting those meals, make sure that you look for 30 grams of protein per serving. Anything less than that, like say it's 20 grams of protein, is going to be high in fat, and that's not going to serve you. So if you are buying anything like that, make sure that you look for around 30 grams of protein per serving. The likes of the Thai green curries and all those sort of dishes are generally pretty good. So they are. Stay away from the likes of the tagliatelle and stuff. It's all high fat. I know it tastes unreal, but it'll throw your macros off.
I eat loads of bagels and sourdough. There's like 10 grams of protein in a bagel.
But there you are now, and you wouldn't even think that.
I know. Wouldn't have had those carbs before.
No. Any particular brand, Emma, or where do you buy this? Tell us all.
They're all similar. They're all about 10 grams of protein. So
okay.
Good wee one.
And what would be, so this is always a question, is what I eat for breakfast instead of eating eggs to get protein up? So tell us what your breakfast would. Give us 2 or 3 different breakfasts.
I have a big bowl of porridge with Nutella and fruit in it.
Okay, class.
And then sort of to try and increase the fat and the calories, I would throw in maybe some seeds or nuts onto it, or like coconut or something like that, to try and raise the calorie quantity.
Nice. Yeah, and blending stuff, you can blend, like stick it into a blender. You can say some people are struggling, maybe got 500 calories at the end of the day to consume. If you blend it, you'll have it so on point. You can put whatever you want in there. You could put like avocados in, oats, you could put broccoli in, because you can just blend it and you'll not even taste it. And in order to taste the veg, you squeeze half a lemon into it, and the citrus taste will just mask all the veg. You can put fruit into that. You could stick absolutely anything you want into that, and it'll help get the extra calories up. Shaz, you're laughing. Why are you laughing?
I would have drank a lot of fruit juice, like pure orange juice, to try and increase the calories and carbs at the start.
Yeah. It's definitely a good way of doing it.
I'm just
I'll never drink broccoli, Dave. No way.
Drinking pure broccoli.
No.
You can't taste it, but don't drink it 60 or 90 minutes before a workout, because it's not not recommended.
No.
So I'm looking forward to seeing all your MyFitnessPals tomorrow, being all on point. Yeah.
You'll have to give us a couple of days. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I think that's us. Unless there's any more questions, I think we can wrap it up. Yeah. Everybody feeling a wee bit better after that? Everybody feeling?
Yeah, thank you very much indeed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, feeling motivated to get going again tomorrow with the tracking.
Nice. I know you're going to do it afterwards. Everything's going to be all filled out. If you can, fill out for the rest of the week, Olivia, right through to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I should do that. I really should. Go in hard.
That is right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll send all the stuff into the group chat again, all the the PDFs and stuff. A lot of you have it anyway, but I'll send it all in as a refresher for you in case it's been swallowed up in your phone or whatever. And I'll also send you the link to the British Nutrition Foundation so you can have a look at the videos.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.
You too.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.